Hello, everyone. Welcome. I know it's been a while. I'm sure some of you who are subscribed to this channel have been wondering if there will ever be any videos posted. You can see on the Chibo ecosystem, there's so many things that have been happening. I decided to just really focus on understanding this whole synergy around AI. And so I've been studying a lot. And as a result of that, I am re-engineering our platform again. I will be relaunching all the programs, and all of them are going to have an AI component to it. In addition to that, I've also learned how to create GPTs, and these are apps that can really help you. And all of that will be integrating into the courses. It's going to be incredible because of all the innovation and all the things that I've been doing with AI. The courses are going to be 1/4 of what they were before. You're going to get more support, just a lot more that can actually help you to really become amazing clinical research professionals and take your career to the next level. Before diving into anything, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Tengu, and I have been in the clinical trials industry for over 22 years now. It has been quite a journey. I'm now at the global level doing global study management, which I love so much. I love it so much. It's just an amazing career. And hence, I'm able to really create targeted trainings. And I work more at the sponsor level, and which is just fantastic because, again, my experience and knowledge just keeps growing. And now to be able to have AI-infused courses in clinical trials, I think is just incredible. So that's where I want to start. I'm going to start posting videos again. It's going to be once a week. There will be different topics. What I did was I had ChatGPT pick for me the top topics related to clinical research around the world. And these videos are a result of that. The first topic we're going to discuss today is PI oversight. We're going to discuss it from the level of the clinical research site, the CRO vendors that go to the site, and then the sponsor level, and then what some of the impacts are. And I will start from there. So PI oversight really is a way of ensuring that principal investigators are actually protecting the safety and well-being of patients who are going through clinical trials at their site. That's really it. Bottom line. Your principal investigator, you've signed up for these clinical trials. How are you going to make sure that, those data integrity, your patients are safe, and that you're really showing up in the way that you're supposed to? PI oversight is not micromanaging. Remember, you cannot delegate your responsibility, but you can delegate tasks. And granted, especially in oncology, where I'm really passionate about it, you have so much going on. These patients sometimes are really sick and you have to deal with them. And then in addition to that, you're running all these clinical trials. And I think it's really essential that you're present, and that where you're not present, you've actually delegated it to someone. And that is actually evident. So the first piece is that you want to show that you're present. You as a principal investigator or anyone who owns a site, right? And if you're managing a site, I know there are cases where you might have a clinical research site and you're actually hiring principal investigators to be there. However, you want this structure to be in place, you always have to ensure that the PI is actually present, and then there is documentation that they are present. It's one thing to say, oh yeah, we have weekly meetings on site and we review all the current patients and we look at their data, we look at safety events and all of that. Yeah, that's something we do, but it's not documented anywhere. You absolutely have to make sure that is documented. One of the things that is not often talked about is also your relationship with the sponsor of the clinical trial. As I look at different sites globally, many times there are things that arise, which it might just start like a fluke. Oh, this site is not entering their data on time, or they're behind, or you're not enrolling the patients that you actually signed up to enroll. And sometimes it might just be something as maybe one of the study coordinators has left. Maybe you were short on staff. A part of oversight also includes anticipating events and having a robust communication, either with, if you have a CRO who's managing your study, make sure that you're engaging with them as well, and your sponsor. And I cannot stress this enough, because we sit at the global level and we're looking at countries and we're looking at all the different things that start at the sites and come all the way up to the study level. And again, these are not difficult things. Anticipate, do risk management, risk analysis. I have my study coordinator who's going to be leaving for a little bit, maybe they're going on vacation, but then you have a database lock that is coming up. How are you going to mitigate that risk? Is she going to postpone a vacation, or do you want to have another person who's well trained way before that time to help to clean all this data? Things that you absolutely want to be aware of. Are you attending trainings? Are you attending updates? Are you reading the newsletters that are coming from the sponsors and the clinical research organization and other vendors? I know amazing study coordinators and site staff who will summarize all the latest updates and present them to the PI. I think it's just really great. Another thing that you want to pay attention to is the acknowledgement of your SOSARs. This has become quite an issue because as we're going more electronic, you want to understand the country requirements for actually acknowledging those letters. I know in some countries you can acknowledge them, maybe your batch acknowledging them, or it's every 6 months or however that is. But this is extremely important because this is an issue that is creeping up now with all the audits and inspections. Make sure that you're not acknowledging those safety notifications and letters. And then just in general, be aware of the patients on your study. And one last thing is you want to absolutely understand overall how things are moving along at your site, where you are. Is it, if you're in study startup, how soon will activation occur? Are there things that are needed? If there are delays, maybe with the budget negotiations and CTAs, how can you as the PI be a little bit involved and move that along? There are many cases where you can be involved, but a lot of times, because maybe it's the regulatory person involved, or it's a study coordinator or somebody else, and then you're busy in your clinic, but you don't understand the reason why the trial is being delayed is because there are some ongoing issues with the study startup team at your clinical research site. Also, if you are in the maintenance mode, of course, you've started enrolling, you're cleaning up data, know how many patients are at your site, know their status, and be actively engaged. Have meetings, like I said, with your staff and go over data review, understand where the patients are and what exactly is going on. I know there might be cases where you're enrolling so quickly that you can't even keep up with the data, but just do your best to keep up. And of course, the most important one, the informed consent process, it comes up in every audit, every inspection. Have your patients sign all the informed consents, the main consent, and if there are other sub-consents, have they signed it? But in addition to that, if the protocol is revised, have they signed the amended ICF? And if they have, did they sign it on time? Rule of thumb is once a new ICF is approved by your IRB, the patient at their next visit should be signing that ICF. So pay attention to that, comes up on audits and inspections. Those are some of the things that I wanted to discuss today. And again, these topics that I'm going to be talking about in these coming months are global. These are happening all over the world. And a lot of them are coming from my observations in the inspections and audits that are happening and the trends. I'm all about risk mitigation. If you have this information and you can use it to ensure that you have an amazing clinical research site, that you can bring great products to your patients at your research site while maintaining excellent PI oversight, it's a good thing for all of us. So I thank you for listening. I'm just going to end here by saying the few things that I wanted to talk about. This channel will be discussing clinical trials. And I used to put on here things about success mindset, and I've created another channel that focuses on the Yoga Sutras, which is really the framework for my life, even running clinical trials, meditation, and all the things that I've learned from the philosophy of the Yoga Sutras has really caused me to be an incredible global study manager. It showcases my art. Every art piece that you see around the Archival ecosystem is created by me. Basically, I've become a master at prompting and then now creating these incredible images for your pleasure. Lastly, my link tree has the whole Archival ecosystem. On there, you'll find everywhere where I showcase my art. And then you're also going to have a whole section just for the Archival clinical trial space. And then this is the best part. There are free things on there. If you sign up to ChatGPT, and now it's free, and all the apps that I'm creating on there, or the GPTs, that I'm creating. I have, I think, 2 or 3 GPTs on clinical trials right now. The first one that I just love is Clinical Recruit. If you're in the industry and you want to grow or you want to get into the industry, you can ask it questions and it will help you. And then I also have our regulatory GPT, which helps you if you want to set up a clinical trial anywhere in the world, it will help you to navigate it. And then the third one is just day-to-day clinical trials operations. So take advantage of that. They are free. When we relaunch the course, I've also created very targeted GPTs that are state of the art, and that's going to help the students who sign up for the course. My current topic on the Sutra podcast is about being present and staying in the now and using that as a fuel to connect to the greater aspects of your life. So if you're interested, you can go over to the Artful Sutra podcast and you can watch that. But for now, this was the topic. I just recapped everything. I thank you guys for listening, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.